Hello guys, and welcome to another video. First of all, before starting this video, I'd like to make an apologize for being so late in posting a new video, because when I came back I told you that I would try to be consistent and posting on a regular basis. But I've been so busy currently with works, so overwhelming, and I was also trying to launch a new project. I was actually preparing my own brand. So yeah, I have my own brand now, and it's called Limonade, which is a Malagasy word for lemonade. And yeah, so it's not a worldwide brand yet. I cannot ship things worldwide. It's just too complicated from Madagascar, so things are not available for everybody yet. But it's part of my project. It's part of my plan to make it available worldwide. So yeah, we'll see. And yeah, that's it. So I'm really sorry for being late in posting something new, and here I am. I'm back with another video, another theme to talk about. And yeah, as usual, it's a very spontaneous video. I'm recording in my room, and I'm just trying to relax. I'm on my bed trying to relax and just talk to you like if you were next to me and catching up with everything. So I hope you don't mind that it's not as professional as the other artist's video you watch on YouTube. So yeah, anyways, today I'd like to talk about making children's book. As you know, or not yet, I am a full-time children's book illustrator living in Madagascar. So I work online most of the time because most of my clients are worldwide. I have only a few clients locally, and I have a worldwide agent who manages all my book inquiries. So this is kind of something new for me because I've just signed with them earlier this year. And yeah, so I'm kind of a new baby in the traditional publishing, and I'm still learning. My process is not perfect, but I enjoy the small steps, and I'm thankful for every single knowledge I got along the way. And yeah, so where to start? I think I'm going to start with my process, how I deal with each project I get, and later on I'm going to talk about the negative things, the things I find it difficult when working on a children's book project. And lastly, I'm going to end up this video with a positive notes. So yeah, let's start. Just a deep breath before speaking for a long time. Yeah, okay. So my process, usually I get a project with all the brief, the summary of a story, and how the author imagined the visual, which is normally the job of illustrator. But when you work with independent clients, which is my case because all my own clients are all self-published, but I've just begun to work with traditional publishers thanks to my agent. So I'm still new in that side, so I'm not going to talk a lot about working on traditional project maybe. And yeah, so most of the time I got the brief. When people reach out to me, they usually give me a short idea of what they want, and the summary of a story. And if they really have many details about their project, they usually come to me with references about the character designs and the spreads and how they envision the thing and the whole book. And if the whole project speaks to me, if I get interested in the story, which is very important, and I'm going to tell you why later, I ask for more details such as the deadlines, the time frame, and the budget, of course, because it's my job, obviously, and I need to be careful with the money thing. Even if it's my passion and I love doing it, it's also my job, so I have to be fair with myself and to stick on my prices. So I usually don't work on a drawing for less than $150 each page, which is my bottom line, and I try to stick on that, because in this career, guys, you need to be very fair with yourself, not underselling your work, and just stick to your values, and you'll see people will trust you. The more you trust on your skills and on yourself, people will just follow and will value you for your passion and skills. So I usually try to stick to my prices, and when I get more details about the project and everything is fine to me, which means a time frame not less than 3 months for a book of 28 pages, for example, and a budget of, let's say, to 500k. No, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong with English numbers. I'm sorry. I mean $2,500. Yeah, I think that's the right numbers. Yeah. I usually charge that amount for independent clients. So usually I don't go under that amount, and if I get more, that's better, that's perfect. But most of the time with independent publishers, they don't have a lot of budget, because they pay everything on themselves. So you have to understand this. When you work as a full-time illustrator, you have to analyze very well each client, each situation, and just try your best to find the right deal. Yeah. So if I don't have too many works during certain time, like if I don't have anything else for the next 3 months, I may accept a project with a budget of $2,500, and so that's it. I don't start working before signing a contract. I need a contract and an upfront payment before starting working on a project. And let me move because I can't breathe. I'm lying on my bed right now. Let me just sit down. Okay. So yeah, when everything is settled down and this contract is signed and I get my first payment, I can start working. And usually I start with a character design and a draft of a storyboard. So the storyboard is not a very detailed thing when it comes to children's book. It's just like where I imagine the characters, like the placement of each items on a drawing on a page, and yeah. So it's a very sketchy storyboard that I do. Storyboard. What am I saying? Storyboard. Yeah. And it's different for every illustrator. For example, I see some of my fellow illustrators, they make very detailed and digital storyboards, which is not my case, because when doing a storyboard for a children's book, I like having things very fast, because it seems like, it feels like the ideas come to me fastly, and they can leave my mind as fast as they can. So I'm just like catching everything quickly and trying to put them on a piece of paper in order to keep them. So usually when doing the storyboard, I'm working on a paper with a pencil, and I just scan everything and try to put some words and explanation all around on my program, and that's it. I deliver it with a character design. Usually I don't make like I don't create all the characters during the character designing, but just focus on the how to say that, the main characters. Yeah, the main characters. I usually give different outfits for the author to choose which one they prefer. I also give different hair styles and hair textures. For those who follow me on social media, they know that I love drawing black hair, black people hair, yeah, curly hair and kinky hair. So I have to be very careful with the brushes I choose, depending on the cultural background of each character. So yeah, let's say that it's my how to say that? In French we say spécialité, but I don't know how to say that in English. It's my thing. Yeah, it's my thing to draw black people's hair, and I love it. So yeah, along the character design and storyboard, I also sometimes give like color palette for the whole project. I did that for one of my clients for a book that is titled Jade Braves the Dark. So it's from Sugar Apple Books, which is a small independent publishing house, and it's a very lovely book. I really loved working on that one, and so I gave my client 2 color palette to choose, and I give a kind of name for each palette, so it gives an idea of the mood, and yeah. So sometimes I do that, not necessarily, but when I get inspired and have the time, I can afford to work a little bit more, I give that as well. So once everything is okay, is fine, I always submit the things and get approval before moving on, because there is nothing worse than just reworking on everything over and over again. So I have to make sure that everything is good for my client. Usually it is already written in our contract how many changes they are allowed to ask me. And so I usually give like 2 rounds per steps, like two rounds for the storyboards and character design, another 2 rounds for the sketching, and another 2 for the coloring. So yeah, so once everything is approved, I can move to the next step, which is sketching. So during the sketching, I'm going back to the storyboard, and I try to redraw on each page from the storyboard in order to get a more detailed sketch. Yeah, so that's it. Actually, that's it. And in the sketching, this is the part that takes the most time for me. Even though for some illustrators, the coloring is the most time-consuming process. But for me, it's the sketching, because during the sketching, I need to have every element on place so that it makes the process faster and easier during the coloring. So I don't have to think about what else to put here and there, but just focusing on the colors. So yeah, that's it. I have to be sure that everything is good and everything is accurate, and yeah, so that's it. The face expressions, the details based on the story, everything has to be on the right places during the sketching. So once I deliver the sketch and I get the approval, I move to coloring, which is my favorite part because it's where I am more free to, how to say that, to be the artist, like the spontaneous one, even though I already have a palette color to focus on. But during the coloring, it's like I'm creating a universe. I'm giving life to something, and so it's a part where I'm less stressed. I mean, I'm less stressed. I don't put too much pressure on myself, and yeah. Once everything is done, I deliver everything and I get the rest of the money. So usually when you work with an independent publisher, they are allowed to give a kind of they're not officially allowed or something, like there is no official law or something for working with independent publisher, but it's just something that I got used to in my career. They submit a kind of payment deadlines, payment schedule, so that it's easier for them to give the money. Yeah, so I get paid at the end of the work. Usually I get like 3 times payment, but the biggest part is always at the end, when after you deliver everything. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my process. Actually, I am going to start working on a children's book project from a small press in New York City. So it's the first project I get from my agent. So it's the first traditional publishing project that I have. The process is different, definitely, because I've been approached by a whole team, not just the author, but a whole team with an art director, and yeah, a whole team for just a book. So that's kind of amazing. I explained to them that it's a whole new world for me, so I'm still learning. But they were very kind to me, very understanding. How to say that? They understand, and so they trying to guide me through the way. So it's very exciting to me, and I'm very happy to get that contract, though it's not a crazy huge amount contract, but it's actually less expensive than some of my own contracts with self-published clients. But I'm very excited because it's a first experience, and I know that it's going to lead me very far in my career. And it's just so exciting to think that my works will be seen by so many people, will be in the libraries, and I'll be working with a huge name, publishing name, so it's very exciting. I cannot tell you more than that, but it's very exciting. So I'll be working on that book until January, and I have all the time I need to create. And the subject, the theme is very inspiring because it's about black kids in acceptance, which are 2 of my favorite themes to work on, and I'm very happy. So what did I say earlier? What am I going to talk about next? Let's talk about the negative things on working on children's books. I think the most how to say that, the most current problem is about budget and payments always, because as I told you earlier, when you work with independent clients, I'm sorry, to create I'm really sorry, by the way, it sounds like I'm just too spontaneous and like in my dining room talking to you, yeah, anyways. So the most current project, what am I saying? The problem that you may come across all the time is about the payment and the budget. Since self-published authors pay everything by their own, it's most of them, it's very rare that you get a good budget, and it's understandable because it costs a lot to publish one book. And when I come to that kind of situation, I always try to be polite and kind with people, and like explaining why my prices may sound high for them, and what do they actually get with that price. And I am also I always try to give suggestions on how they can found their project. Actually, there are many ways to found a project, and one of my clients found a real success on doing crowdfunding, so I'm very proud of her. It's her first children's book. It's the publishing house named Soaring Kites, and yeah, so she had a successful campaign, and I think it's one of the most effective way to fund a project if you're an independent publisher making crowdfundings and get yourself a very good illustrator to work with. And yeah, so that's the main problem, is that you don't get a very interesting budget. And another one is the process, because when you work with a first-time publishing client, author, they are also still learning most of the times. And I came across some of my fellow illustrators have found troubles working with that kind of people, because it's like you get some of them are very disrespectful, and it's not everyone, but obviously that kind of people are the ones that are still learning the process. So sometimes they can get rude with the illustrator, the artist, and it's both ways, because when you also work with a non-professional illustrator, you may also find trouble in the communication and the quality, and yeah, so it's really both ways. But I'm talking as an illustrator, and sometimes you get clients that are really disrespectful towards your work, and that sucks. Because when you work on a children's book, you need to make sure that the atmosphere is good, that it is friendly, because you're going to work together for at least 3 months, and no one wants to be stressed during 3 months. I personally have already experienced that with my first project, and I don't want to live that again. So please, guys, before accepting a project, make sure that you're fine with all the terms, you're fine with the person that is going to work with you, you're fine with the subject of a story, because there is nothing worse than working without loving it, and I know what I'm talking about, because I've been there more than one time, and I really do regret it, actually. So there will always be a good project coming your way. You'll always get what you deserve, so believe in yourself, believe in your art, and get the right project. Yeah. What else? Let's talk about the good thing. Yeah. I think the most good thing about working on a children's book is that it gets you out of the reality during a certain amount of time. When working on an illustration for a child, you're really cut from reality. You are in a world that you're creating. You are in a better place, and you see the world differently. And nothing is more satisfying than getting paid for living that moment, and not having to think about your job later or another job that you're doing, and just creating to live and live to create, and it's amazing. So yeah. I don't know what else to say apart from that. I love my work, I love what I'm doing, and I love illustrating children's book, imagining a whole universe, imagining each characters, their attitudes and their dreams and how they talk to their friends, imagining their outfit, their hair, if she has a curly or kinky hair, kinky wild hair, and her pets, yeah, everything. I just love doing what I do, and I hope that I will always keep doing this forever and for a very long time, as long as I live in this world. Yeah, and for my next existence, if there is reincarnations or something. Okay, I think I'm going to end this audio here because I'm starting to speak nonsense, and my English is starting to fail, and I'm getting exhausted. So you're watching now an illustration that I did last month when I tried to redraw one of my older autumn illustrations that I submitted to my agency. I'm quite happy because the result looks better than the older one, according to me. And yeah, so in my Patreon, a while ago I posted all September rewards, which are all fall themed. So I drew some pumpkins, and it was very funny to do. So yeah, if you want to support me, please go to my Patreon, Sawyer Cloud, and get free rewards, free amazing and cute rewards monthly, and yeah, be a part of my very small community, but very warm and friendly. So I hope to see you there, and thank you so much again for following my journey. I'm sorry for not being consistent enough, but I'm doing my best. And please stay safe, stay well. Try to always work on your dreams, and you'll get there. I'm here to support you, and everything will be just fine. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon for another video. Bye.